Hi, good evening. I'm Afrin Crypto Warlord using alpha trading tools this evening. Well, every evening, every day. Link to the Discord is below, and we'll get on with it. We've got the crickets still going very strong at 11 PM out here, somewhere in the middle of Africa. So, what are we looking at? We're looking at XRP, and I'm going to drop it down to maybe the 90-minute time frame, just so that I can have a reference for myself, as this is a diary. Okay, so we're going to go 21 day, and then when we get to the 3-day, we'll jump to Binance. This is currently Poloniex. Okay, so what we can see is, I don't need the candles to tell me what's happening. So what we can see is Shannon Entropy is contracting, whilst negatively correlated. Okay, this means that there's positive drift. Okay, so then we'll drop it down to, let's say, the 14 day, which is 2 weeks. Okay, and we'll go backwards and forwards. What we can see is that there's a little bit of confusion here. We're coming into a mean, but what we can see, wrong one, is that we have our low period still positively correlated. We have our raw, faster moving Shannon telling us that we're going to be going with negative drift. So these two will cause a little bit of sideways actions, or you could look for dojis. Okay, that's the kind of thing. It just holds the range, something like this, when there's a little bit of confusion. And you can go looking for these guys, which popped up for HVP flashes. Alright, so we've had some flashes into a little bit of confusion. Flashes telling us we're looking for a little bit of direction, taking the next best trade into the trend. Okay, super scalpers come through. Let me just quickly pop back to the 21 day so that I can show you how this all starts to work together. So you can see that there's positive drift in the market. So on the longer term time frames, bots and algos wide up. So this is 12th of Feb, and we'll be opening another one shortly. Close it shortly. Okay, so this is 21 day. We know that the bots and the algos on the long term time frames are going to be buying it up. This is also confirming with our 14 day, a little bit of sideways action. Shannon, it's just another indicator we use. Returns are still positive but decreasing, diminishing returns, and we have a little bit of expansion on the 21 day with regards to some volatility. So it's looking for direction. Considering that these two candles have popped back up, maybe it wasn't comfortable with this mean reversion, and we'll go looking on other time frames. Now we're going to go to the 7 day. As we saw, our Shannon Entropy was going sideways on our 14 day, so this similar effect, we have significant correlation, positive correlation with expansion of volatility. Okay, this is also significantly correlated because it's yellow. Okay, because it's yellow, and gives us also a little bit more confusion. Okay, this is pink, tells us we're at a pretty random point, okay, in the market. Blue tells us that it's trending. So what we can see here, this is going to start to go a bit pink. These two are telling us the same thing as the 21 day, the 14, or the 21 days got positive drift, the 14 days going sideways, the 7 day is going pretty much sideways with these current. When we close, 14, 21, cool. So this is Poloniex, then we'll jump to Binance. Okay, so what do we see here? We have both contracting whilst positively correlated. So that's why this is being sold off, is the bots and the algos are following negative drift. Okay, for interesting numbers, I'll show you what it looks like on a 5 day. So we're pretty much going sideways, positively correlated, and that gives us negative drift. Open up here, closing down here, something like that. Quite a little bit hard to trade on the 5-day sideways volatility, because this would have picked up as this was printing. Okay, so let's put it on the 3-day, then we'll move to this, which is put on the 3-day already. Okay, so now we saw with our Shannon on the 3-day here, contraction, positively correlated. Okay, so a little bit of drift to the downside. Now we start getting a little bit more high tech, throwing up. Throwing up Binance, have this reset. Cool. Cool. I'll pick this up so y'all can see. There we go. Okay. So what can we see on Binance? We can see that on the 3-day, which closes in 2 hours and 48 minutes, we're having an outlier event on our returns oscillator. We've had a confirmed outlier event, which was this candle into our levels, and we see that trend is starting to increase. Positive correlated volatility is starting to decrease a bit here. Okay, oh, we're up. This is down, so to me this is playing out. We need this to touch the blue dots, and if that happens, you'll more than likely see this candle start to fill up. So that's in just under 3 hours. So what can we see on Shannon? Okay, open up Shannon. Oh, getting used to this mouse. Okay, now we see Shannon's going is contracting, positively correlated. That's drift down. Pop it on the 3-day. Okay, Shannon's contracting while still in positive correlation. In a day, in 3 hours though, this will mean revert, and if it carries on contracting, that will add positive float, backing our 21-day, more than likely starting to mess with our 17 and 14-day. Now we put on a 24-hour. Okay, so we see that volatility is starting to expand to the downside, okay, and it's negatively correlated, but our raw data has stepped itself up. Okay, our raw Shannon has, is in a sense putting this move, making it go sideways, so it looks like it's going to go down. But in 3 hours we'll get a proper confirmation. If this crosses through the mean, then you'll more than likely see this turn around and also want to cross through the mean, thus following expansion. Okay, and vice versa. If this white line and this grey cloud move together, then when this expands, goes red, we'll see a dump. So we'll start to go monitor something like that on half time frames and half time frames. So contracting, positively correlated, so we can see that this is still going to be sliding down for a while until either one of these decides to expand above this, then that will cause this pump. But if it carries on doing this, we have negative drift. 6 hour, similar thing sideways, matching up with like our other higher time frames. Okay, so this is like a doji, and we have 3 hours to close, so that will print our new 6 hour, like quarters in a day. Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, but just in crypto land. Okay, so this is going to mean revert. This is also going down, saying the next best place for this thing would be wanting to mean revert. So if this expands, okay, it won't really expand and this one contract. Okay, this is telling us sideways action, and this is telling us we haven't decided what's happening. So if you can remember early on in the video, I said that it will print like a doji. Okay, like this isn't really much like a doji because it's not balanced, but we don't trade patterns, we trade math. So that's what's happening here. Is the tighter this candle gets on, let's say, the 6 hour, the easier it will be for this thing to either mean revert, and it will be easier to either make the next expansion, because the sum, if you to add up your math with all of this, the sum will be small because this is a small movement over 3 candles. Okay, so the volatility, open and close, ends up here. Then it's easy to flick these indicators around just because of where it closed. Okay, it's a whole bunch of little things you gotta monitor. So this is telling us confusion. As you can see, when I was saying like on the 14-day and stuff like that, this is the stuff that gets generated. This is the type of signal, if you have to do signal processing through your candles. This is the kind of candle set that you'll get when you see sideways action. So we could literally see that it expanded, this one was contracting. As I was saying, it's quite hard to get that, but this would have just been because of closing. They would have been matching each other before the close. Okay, and leads into moves on how they close. So we saw that we went sideways from here. Contraction, this one expanding. This is equal to that. This is that side of this sum, and this is this sum of that side. Okay, so 2 hours. Let's see if we can start spotting some direction. We can see another mean reversion again, backing up some of these higher time frames. Well, higher time frames allow anything lower than 24 hour. Now, these higher time frames, 6 hour, 12 hour, we can see that there's still more sideways action, and that's the same kind of signal that will be generated by like this. There's mean reversion, so it'll be easier to start figuring out what's happening. So we'll drop it to the 1 hour. Remember, this is without lines, so now when we're getting down here, I'll start putting on the lines. So what we can see is this is quite over expanded. Okay, we had our blue flash telling us when the blue flash ends, more than likely go long. Just wait for all of this to start correlating. So what we can see is this is what I call a volatility trap, and I'm glad it actually popped up here. Okay, so what we can see is we can see Shannon and the raw Shannon expanding, and what we can see is this turning around. Okay, so because these things expanded so much in comparison to its previous data set, okay, the smaller candles, because this expanded so much in comparison to previous data sets, you'll have something that throws the market off. So like we will mark this place out. Okay, literally. Okay, so mark it out. And this signifies to me that this will be a volatility trap. How do I know this? Because the next best move for this thing is for this to start contracting was positively correlated. Okay, so it expanded so much in comparison to all this other data, and it didn't go anywhere. Literally, look at all this data, right? And this thing just boom expands so much, and this didn't go anywhere. Obviously, it turns around here, and on the lower time frames, you'll start to see the 21-day drift taking its effect through like a time frame like this. It expands so much, doesn't go high, it doesn't break a range, and now we're at mean reversion. So like this is a nice place to look for, like, okay, this is a volatility trap, and this is pretty much a 0 point to me. This starts to contract, this goes positively correlated, this goes down. It pumped itself into a volatility trap. So now this is what we'll start to monitor on the lower time frames. I'm going to pop into the 90 minute to see what that looks like, which is about 30 minutes higher up, and that's in about 1 hour and 10 minutes close. So we have contraction negatively correlated, so this has positive drift. On the one hour, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hurt your ears there. There's little bugs that fly around, and I think they can pick up on the CO2, and they will just hum around you. They're like little muggies. Anyway, 1 hour, here's our volatility trap. 90 minutes, we saw positive drift. 45 minutes. So this is the other side of the volatility trap. Half the time frame. Contraction sideways. So that's 1 hour holding a mean. That makes sense. We'll drop it to 30 minutes. Let's see. It completely expanded, positively correlated, and it's starting. It opened up here. It's a random candle, and then it's closing down here. Okay. In 8 minutes, 15 minutes, and now start adding on the cool stuff. Okay, so this will be cool to monitor. Hopefully we can catch this. So we have some expansion. This thing's at a mean. Remember, we saw the higher time frame as a random one. So this is pink, which is the color just before yellow. Here, I'll show you that. I'll show you where this indicator comes from. In 5 minutes, let's have a look. Okay, confusion. 10 minutes. Up, positive. That's dragging down. 1 minute. Throw us in. Confusion. Okay. Random candles. I'm sure the alpha wolves will be able to understand what I'm saying. So the 1 hour helps back this, all these lower time frames. Okay. So now we're gonna go big, and this is for the guys. Okay, so these colors are imprinted onto those candles. So this is blue. That's blue. This is pink. That's pink. This is yellow. Oh, okay, I have these on different settings. Both are 2 different settings. But that's the general idea. That's yellow, random point. This is so that I can figure out, because I like to have my indicators running similar sample sizes. Okay, so you can see it's trending. I can see the trend starting to decay. I can see we're crossing through a mean, ROI mean, moving average. It's going for a mean. Super scalper going for the mean. So now we'll put this on big, make that like that. Now I'll show you the treats. Okay, where do we want to start? VRE levels. We can throw, let's not go too hectic. Okay, expansion, positively correlated. So this is where we'll get stomped out, at least off this first look of a big screen. Ooh, okay. We'll switch on our VRE levels. And you can see on the other side of our reverse wave trend, we came in and we touched. And I'll switch that off, switch that on. You can see that we touched. This I only jumped on today. I looked at it before and it was very confusing, because I was still working on all these other indicators, making sure that they're all lined up and stuff. And then I threw this on whilst I was doing that. And it was a bit of analysis paralysis. So I just carried on with my original mission of making sure all these guys slap, like bullish div and stuff like that. Just lines up. Trend decaying. That was one candle back. That was pretty much the same candle that we were just watching. Okay, anyway, it doesn't matter. So that would have been the reason why this thing didn't go through its mean. To me, relativity, contraction, positively correlated. This guy's going down. It's on the 1 minute. Okay, I just want to make sure I keep on watching that. There's our flash. So now I'll quickly flash through these indicators one by one. Okay, VRE. This is a weekly level. I'm not going to zoom out. This is our weekly mean. This is Laplace level 1 for weekly mean. Laplace level 1 for weekly mean. Upside, downside. Okay. Reverse wave trend telling us on our 1 minute, just with regards to our 1 minute trend, where we are. Okay, so we bounced off that. Usually it's like a nice scoop. There's our mean for our reverse wave trend, and then we'll put on our UMP. You quickly see how those guys work. Cool. And then I'll put them all on together. And I love this. It's pretty much like you're on the wrong side of the trade. you're very much on the wrong side of trade. You fucked up. You're still on the wrong side of trade. Still on the wrong side of trade. Still on the wrong side of trade. Okay. UMP. These are beautiful. I'm not gonna disclose anything, but I'll show you the kind of, as you can see, like a wick and stuff. Points that signify these levels to the T. Opens and closes pretty much on the spots. Wicking in over there, like I don't have to draw the line. Wicks, cuts through, changes the outlook. Okay, so now we'll throw it on all of them. How do we want to do it? We'll do this one first. Okay, zoom out. Do that one first. Do that one second. We'll do that one third. And then we'll put X-ray vision on. So what does this tell me? Okay. Drag it up so you guys can see. We have some big expansion, not positively correlated as of yet. Okay. Through the mean, positively correlated now, so now it's going to hold. And what I like about this, which I'm trying out now, so this is going through the mean, the returns are up, it's trying to go for an outlier event, blue flashes are off, random point. Cool, check this shit out. Now, if this one closes above this mean, secret numbers, if this closes above that, then I usually look for the next candle to close above the red line, which is here. Close above the red line. So it closes above this, closes above. The next one's going to mess around. If it goes sideways, I'll know over here that those on the Shannon, I'll know that they aren't going in the same direction, so I can wait a little bit. But then if candle number 2 closes above the point that it pushes through like that, then I know, boom, we go to the upside. Okay, candle 2, and that's where it obviously would like to come and retest. This needs to get all the way down and close here and close below it for this trend to carry on. This is my new little secret. Coming live to you for many minutes. We have a 90-minute. Let me just quickly flick to that. Now, it doesn't matter. It does obviously matter, but I'd like to see it close. Open. So this is our 90-minute. Let's have a quick scout at Shannon Entropy. Contracting positively correlated, bounced off our next UMP mean. Ultimate. I need to figure out the acronym. Super sexy power mean is what I'll just call it right now. So that's the general idea. Same idea applies. This one will just push through, close above. Bears obviously touch, deny, and that will line up with, let's say, an outlier event up here. Not yet. Not yet. Returns a bit to the downside. Contraction. And that's been doing that for this whole candle. Into this. Trying to. Okay, there you go. Oh, I hope I caught that. And now I see I match this up. Right? Everyone asks, why do you have 100 million indicators? I match this, pretty much this exact cross point up with this point here. Contraction significantly correlated. So this will move through. Maybe to here. I don't know. We'll have to see how continuous this trend is. Okay, so whose bots and algos are buying this up? breaking news. I got a trade. Down, correlated negative. Not yet. So FTX wants to push up. Binance wants to go sideways. Let's throw those up. Let you know what they look like. Boom. Okay, FTX. A little bit slower FTX. Okay, so into here. Catch level. So now we look at this line. We do have positive and negative drift. Positive correlation to the downside. What do I call it in my head? That's normal. Contraction, sorry. Contraction, negative drift. Okay. I look at this. Let's see. Are we all up? Are we all up? Are we all up? Let's get rid of those symbols. Okay. There's your mean, super scalper. What the other boy is saying. Blue flash off. And here's a nice little point to be looking out for. So these guys are coming together. Next best move, cross through up. We've touched 3 times on our reverse wave trend now. Next best move, try close that above that one above that one, and if you can close that one above that one, this one is a wall off up here, and vice versa. That closes to the next second one, and the next second one wants to close down here. And I will say this, I'm not going to show you which one, but when one of these touches a mean, you'll see that price action reverts. I wonder which one it could be. Let's watch this movie mode. Through the mean. Okay, still positively correlated. Might get. It's not the strongest signal for a pump. Capped. Still trending to the downside. This is like an iceberg order. Just getting capped at our mid length. Somewhere here. Okay. 7 day. Now if we played around there for a couple minutes. Sideways. Down, but it looks like it's played out already. So this might go quickly there. The next one might be that green line we were just looking at. The green line we were just looking at. What's this thing? So annoying. Okay. The green line we were just looking at on the 1 minute down there. Pink candle. Yep. Confirms. 2 day. We have an outlier event crossing through. Crossing through, mean, lost trend, random. These returns are tight. Daily, trying to look for its own place to get through, but we're like 24.5 for this reason. Random. looking for a new trend. Confused. Upside, downside, looking for more upside. If it gets in there, upside. If it doesn't get in there, more downside. Oh, maybe I'll show you guys what it all looks like on the high time. Okay. Go blind with me, my friends. Boom. 6 hour. Looking to try close a mean. If this candle closes at 80 cents, 0.3 fractions on Binance, it will confirm that will then have that loose trend. The next candle prints a little bit above the mean. This can start to look for a trend. Blue flashes are done. It doesn't look like it's a nice bottom. Contraction, adds positive drift, 21 to 3 hour. Mean, pushing for the mean. UMP, there's a point of interest. We had a buy signal on UMP, so if you close down here, you get short. If you close above there, you get long. 1 hour. Let's see how it's playing out. Mean reversion denied. Trending outlier event. Confusion. UMP. Eat my bandwidth, baby. Outlier event starting to end. Looking for mean reversion. Random. That downside was considered random. It's on a 45 minute, by the way. Watch. Okay. 15. And I'll leave us with this. This is a random ass 15 minute candle that's got 6 minutes to close. If it closes below this line, short. If it closes above that line, long. If it closes below that line, short. If it closes above that line, long. Expansion, looking for a trend. Returns, looking to get hit again, make it blue. Still in the trend to the downside. Mean reversion, outlier event is starting to occur. Expansion, positively correlated, is what's holding that back. I throw up all the levels, and I'll leave you with this. This is our weekly mean. That's our green line we're looking at on the 7 days. Sorry, not this one. Dim. I'll show you there. Yes, it was. Let me do that. Closes below here. These things carry on going to the downside. This one closes above, price action closes above that candle, pushes into the mean. See for the next 3-4 minutes what the plan is. That's where it can defend its means. If we can get up there, even though it doesn't look like it can. Contraction positively correlated to the downside. That needs to expand. Go red in 1 minute. Do the party trick. Don't go red. You can break that level. There you go. Do the party trick, baby. Cool. I'll check you guys later. Let's see if we've got this right level.